Alrighty then, mic check. Welcome aboard, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It is about that time again. It is Tuesday. We're going to do a little News Day Tuesday. We've got some big stuff going on here because the VIX is up and the ticks are up. So I want to talk about that here today. And of course, if you have not done so already, make sure you are following us over here on our social media, especially here on Instagram, where the most fun is happening. And of course, if you want to learn how we earn right here on Discord channel chat, we're going to show a lot of the trade room in there. Well, actually, maybe less of that today because I'm going to show you guys some of my own personal examples here and less about the room areas here today, but we had some fantastic results from today, so we want to talk about some of those. VIX up, ticks up. So first things first, on Tuesday, we are Tuesday News Day. What is up with the news? We are receiving information from our brokers right now. This is pretty much everybody. Doesn't matter what broker you're with. Margins are increasing. Okay, now why would that be? Whenever you get something from your broker statement, I'm not broker statements, but from your broker, you're going to get a notice that will tell you, hey, we've got some changes to the margins. Now, what are our normal margins? Let's talk about some of those with our standard discounted brokers. Those are going to be approximately 500 bucks. This is what we love, $500 for the majority of the stuff that we do. The other bin of ones that we are operating in for us here at AlgoBox, 1,000 bucks. Right? These are our main two. Now, again, there are some exceptions in there with these if you're doing FDAX and some others, but again, we don't really focus on those here. Now we're talking about minis, okay? So $500 to 1,000. Right now, you are getting email notifications that margins are going up. Now, that sounds like negative news. I want to make sure that you guys understand with that negative news comes the positive news. Why would your broker increase that just all of a sudden out of the blue? These are things that you sign up with, kind of education around futures or any other, I don't want to say all the other instruments, mostly futures contracts because of the leverage that we have, that they need to adjust these. So those margins are what you pay per contract, $500, $1,000, and this is kind of on a per contract basis. Right? Now remember, notional values, now just because it's $1,000 or $500, that is not what you're actually moving. Remember, notional value of what we are actually moving with a single contract is what? Pop quiz time. One contract equals, you said 225K, $225,000 on average. This is, this is ES and NASDAQ, Dow, Russell, etc. Think about that. So when you're trading 4 contracts of one of these, you are almost controlling $1 million. So just keep that in mind. Now, this is just educational parts of this. Let's get back to the news part. So the margins are going up right now. Okay, for the brokers that we use, they are telling us that they are up 2x. 2x. Now, this is fairly common. Some people are like, what? Maybe first time with us or first time in the futures, you don't know. So they go from, so $500. Now we are doing $1,000 per contract. All right, and $2,000. Pretty straightforward, but why does this matter? Okay, because everybody here, a lot of folks are always, especially the new folks, this is mainly for them, is that you're coming in and you're going, hold on, I thought that I could do this with a $2,500 account. Well, obviously right now that's doubled, right? So a $2,500 account now needs to be a $5,000 account, etc. Now, how long does this last? That depends. That depends on market volatility. These types of events occur when we have macroeconomic news events occurring, okay? So think macro meaning large, big picture, macro events in general, okay? When they are doing it ahead of time. Now, this can be something that spikes intraday or whatever, but they were sending this sending these notices to us over the weekend, right? So, and some of us, I think, actually this one went Monday. I don't think we got them on the weekend, but on Monday morning, we are receiving these notices that, hey, the margins are going to go doubled. So just, that's all they do. They just send you an email and that's it. That's all your notification. You're not going to get a notice on your platform, anything like that. But if you are on the cusp of your size for your account, you might get some error message that says, hey, you don't have enough margin in your account to do this, and normally it's been fine. You go, oh, I've been trading 5 contracts fine, just day after day. Then all of a sudden, boom, you can't do 5 contracts because it's like you get this error message. This is why. Okay, so make sure you pay attention to those emails if you're going to get those from the brokers. And of course, we announce them in the room as well in our Discord channel chat. Right now, next things that this matters. What's the good news? Okay, so that sounds like bad news. You said, well, Vinny, I thought you said you had some good news for us. Well, so what's the good news? The gospel. What's the good news about this? Well, VIX up, ticks up. For us, all right, VIX up, ticks up. We love it when the volatility is up. That means more opportunities. Now, it also means additional risk, so keep that in mind. Again, we're AlgoBox. Make sure that you understand, folks, trading is risky. There is no guarantees in any of this stuff. And understand that just because I'm doing well does not mean you're going to do well. You have to put in the work. That effort and the risk is on you. Make sure you understand all the risks before you get involved in trading. It's very risky. Okay. Now, when the VIX when the VIX goes up, yes, the risk increases, but it also increases the opportunities. With risk comes reward. With reward comes risk, etc. Everybody kind of knows these things, right? So VIX up, ticks up. When the volatility is up, again, look, for the next few days, folks, just expect that we are going to have more headshots, more two-finger salutes, more double cross double moves. Oh man, double cross double moves today. Did y'all see all the double cross double moves? Holy shnikes. I'm going to show you guys some plays here today. I'm not just talking about the news. You guys are going to see some of the results from what I did today, and some maybe if I have time, I'll throw in some of what the room is doing here today. But you guys can go check that out. Go pop in the public chat and look through the performance reports of other members as well. But I'm going to show you guys some of those awesome plays here that we got even for today. Again, volatility, you could tell, was up, especially there towards the end of the day. It got super, super fast in movement, which is why you want to adjust which instrument that you're trading on. Today was a great day to trade on the ES at the end of the day. So we'll talk about some of that here as well. But just know, good news is for the next few days, it's double payday, folks. For again, yeah, I know I'm so tired of the trolls. Be like, Vinny, you're just telling everybody it's not risky anymore, and you're just gonna have everybody blowing their accounts. But listen, folks, I assume you already understand the risk. I assume that you want to be here to do it. I am telling you that my personal opinion, the way that I'm looking at the markets, is I get excited when the volatility kicks up. I get a great opportunity for basically more opportunities, more setups. More setups mean more opportunities. Everybody kind of get that, right? So maybe instead of, since they're doubling the thing, am I going from 5 to 10? Yeah, probably. Okay, because again, in an hour now, I'm going to get way more opportunities there. So I am not necessarily sticking to my 5 trade rules now. Now I'm going to have more trade opportunities. Make sense? So this is that time where we adjust from our standard operating procedures. Now, what do you mean? What's standard operating procedures, folks? When you hear me say our SOPs, okay, SOP, standard operating procedures. This is any business should have standard operating procedures. So the standard operating procedures that we have in general are going to be, 5 trades, right? I'm just I don't want to type all that out. So standard operating procedures is going to be normally 5 trades in our hour, right? And now we're going to be looking for probably 10. I mean, it's literally that simple. Like when they're doubling the margins like that, very, very easy to kind of figure out. Well, you need to set in your mind. Remember, this is starting mindset. This doesn't mean you're going to or you have to. We are talking about mindset here. What are you preparing for as you walk up to your desk in the morning with your system? Are you expecting more? Are you expecting less? And the idea here is as you're grabbing that coffee, sitting down at your desk now, that you're not just being like, okay, I'm going to be, doing my little 5 trades. Now you might be sitting down at your desk. You need to prepare yourself for more speed, for more activity, and more opportunity, right? And increased risk as well. If you're not keeping to the risk rates already, if you've been having problems with that already, like folks, then this might be a time for you to sit out. In fact, it could be a time for anybody to necessarily sit out. But I'm just telling you guys how I'm looking at it as an opportunist with all the extra volatility. So I hope I made that clear, and also not just being like, oh, it's going to be so easy. Your mom can do it, right? Now, I do say that absolutely. I believe that AlgoBox makes the trading systems or the trading plans easier. I think it makes it highly visual. I think it makes it a lot easier to see trade setups and opportunities. I do. I 100% believe that. All right, so what else I want to talk about with that? I think that covers it. Standard operating procedures, you need to have those as you go in the market, but that the markets any given day can throw you a loop, right? Standard, but then know how you can expand. What you don't want to do is walk up to your desk and be like, well, I'm just a big old blank slate. I don't know what we're going to do. Let me just come in here and just look at it, open, like no plan whatsoever. No, to not plan is to plan to fail, okay? We want a plan. Okay, have your plan laid out. So sometimes there needs to be adjustments to those plans. Oftentimes you can have them on your calendar. Your calendar, if you got the Econo Day calendar, you can know when these events occur. Right now, this isn't a planned event. We didn't have planned, oh, Putin's going to be invading countries this week. So, hey, let's see, it's penciled in for February there. No, we didn't know, right? So these are new things that have occurred. Now, take your standard operating procedures and expand them. All right, if I beat that dead horse, great. Let's talk about some of the fun stuff. So the opportunities, right? So the VIX up, ticks up, your margins are up. Okay, but opportunity is also up. Again, getting a bonus day today. Anything for us over 4K in a single day is considered for me bonus day because I'm targeting 4K in a day. So if I do more than that, if I do more than 1,000 over my 4K, then I call that a bonus day. So today was almost a triple bonus day. Actually, it was more than triple. On that, we got 12,839, profit factor 2.37%, profitable 70% for me. Not too bad. Let's take a peek at some of the actual favorites of the day. Now, this was an old screenshot, but I really loved this one. Somebody posted this over in earlier today. Some people were like, what is a headshot? And I just thought this one, like, look how beautifully this is spelled out. Huge move afterwards. Because look, now do all of them make a huge move after these? No. But sometimes, like, I'm like, look at that beautiful headshot, and they're like, I don't understand what that was because they don't see a big move. We are getting target 1 and target 2 out of these headshots. That's our normal, right? But if we've got a runner on and we are going to exit on one of these red exits, these are beautiful opportunities as well. Anyhow, just wanted to show this one off here. That is a headshot right there. You've got a head. That's the little dot right there with the little cross on it. There's where we get the headshot from. That's a nice play. Now, let's talk about some of these that were in action today, and I'm going to also show you guys, this is my tool called Snagit. If anybody doesn't have the Snagit app, it's my favorite screenshotting tool. You don't have to have it. It is a pay-forward one. It's not a free one. The free alternative to this is ShareX. That's my number 2. If I had to go to, I would be using ShareX, so I recommend for the room to either be using ShareX or Snagit. Now, let's do some of these labels. I'm going to show you guys how easy these are to make with my app right here. So I've already drawn in a couple here. So this top one up here is obviously a pink power headshot to the short side at a nice gold line. Okay, well, let's look where that gold line came from. Where did the gold line come from? Well, right there, that is our double cross double move. It's one of my favorite plays here that came up here for me today and was able to grab that screenshot as this one came through. How do we measure? I want to talk about 2 opportunities whenever we are measuring double cross double moves. Okay, DCDM. These are also known as DBDMs, double bubble. Okay, this is if you are doing crosses, it's a C. If you are doing bubbles on the higher time frames, that is where the DBDM comes from. Double cross, double moves, double bubble, double move. All right, so what are the double moves measured from? Right here, we are going to go from previous pivot to the center of the crosses, and then that measurement from here to here is going to be the move from here to here. That's where that gold line comes from right here. The stash line comes from that measurement right there. I use the fib tool to put that out there. It's just the 100% extension that everybody uses. If you don't know how to do that, very easy. You learn it in our program. Press F8 for NinjaTrader by default, and you measure from pivot to the center of the crosses. That's going to be your secondary move out to the next location. That was a perfect one for me. Easily able to take that entire profit. I got a little bit nervous as the red PRZ showed up, but I stood strong. I held it out. I figured worst case scenario, it pops back down here. We close it out. No big deal. Went all the way. Hit target. Target filled. And it gave me some time to think about when this pink dot headshot came in. I went ahead and pressed the button on that too, because I'm like, not only did I have the red that had already been looking like, okay, I'm looking short. I know I've got shorts favorable. I got shorts favorable everywhere else. I'm going to go ahead and take in on this one. Got this headshot short to the short side. Took no heat on it, drops all the way in. I add to position on the gold line. This thing drops out and I exit on the first cross. That was an awesome play. One of my favorites today. Yes, I'm bragging about it because it was pretty awesome. Now, what else made it easier? Over here on the left, what's that right there? That is called a shark tail. So high time frame. Remember, those of you guys who are new with this, you may not know, this is our higher time frame chart. It's kind of a mid. We call it our mid. It is also the MACV chart. And this is a good spot for, you know, higher time frames. So we move from here down to here through our charts. Chart 1, chart 2, and chart 3. High time frame down to the lowest time frame right down there to get our pinpoint entry locations with the least amount of heat right here. But we want to take into play what's happening on the higher time frames. Everybody should kind of know how to trade higher time frames and multiple time frames. If you don't, again, you'll learn it in our training program. But this is how this one became quite easy for me. I'm looking over to the left. Yep, that's giving me signs to go short. This is giving me my entry point for the short. Hardly any heat whatsoever on that one. And a very, very nice move down into that area. Beautiful. Now, shark tail to the left. Headshot over here to the right. After king timing and behind the PRZ. I don't see the name of that shape. That might have been a shark. Can't tell. No, that's a cipher. So... and then we've got that double cross double move. Okay, one of the measurements I want to talk about was, remember, pivot to the center, but if there is a cross, you should be using the cross. But you notice in this case, you see how the pivots and the cross are the same? Okay, doesn't matter which one you measured on with that one. It's still a winner. Make sense? However, sometimes if that pivot was like up here, right, and you're deciding whether or not you want to measure from there to there or from the cross to there, what do you choose? The cross. Always choose the cross, okay? So you're measuring from the cross to the double crosses right there. If there's a pivot involved, you can ignore the pivot, and you're going to go from cross to cross, and then we are looking for that extension move up to the top. Just a reminder, again, we do hit on that in the videos, but sometimes you need a refresher on that. Another thing, adding to and enhancing it, that one also showed up at that same pivot. Lots of confluence to go ahead and give confidence to take that trade to the short side on that one, and it was a beauty. I'm a beast. Let's go to the next one. So this was a really cool play. Set up several going on inside of this. We had another shark tail play right off of the backside, off of a gold line reversal. That one was a nice move up. This one was a nice move right here. That is a power dot headshot to the upside, exiting on a red cipher. Pretty easy to see on that one. Toughest spot was right here. I got stopped out on this one as I tried to get a little bit sneaky with this. I was like, oh, cool, we're heading up. I tried to take this one and almost immediately got wrecked out underneath that. It was kind of easy for me not to try to hold that one. Didn't get too big on it because we had the white line right there that kind of tells you, well, this could be a line in the sand. Be careful on that one. But that was a nice set of plays coming in. Wanted to show that one as well. Let's look to... What was I wanting to show on this? Oh, it blinked on me. There was also a PRZ right here. When I took the screenshot, it didn't show. Bummer. What happens when you're taking screenshots quick? So I hit the repeat button. There had been a PRZ here. Bummer. All right, we'll skip on that one to talk about that move up there. This doesn't look like much, but this is on the AlgoBar 8s, and on the lower time frames, this was a great play stop. How our system basically called this perfectly. We moved from the red dot down to the green, double push move into the PRZ. Nice little move up to the top of that PRZ. This is one of those moments where this thing flashed. That is fixed in our new version. We will no longer have the harmonics with the little flashing that it keeps happening. I have got that all fixed up for you, coming out on March the 1st. Very, very cool stuff. All right, so here's another slide here. We had... See which ones we want to talk about on this one. Come back, Snugget. 1 second. Restore. For it. All right, here we go. Oh, that was a funny screenshot from before. I was going to show how apparently Trades by Matt is like buying subs like crazy. You guys know Trades by Matt. A little bit obvious there, bro. Like everybody's like, wow. I mean, these guys are growing way bigger than you, Vinny. Like their stats are. Look, I don't like these guys cheat. Like ICT buying, all these South African accounts and Nigerian accounts. They're all fake. You notice they're all from the same place and location. Those are not normal. Those are not natural account selections there. And you got Trades by Matt now. I guess he's jumping on the bandwagon. I guess I'm losing because I'm not cheating. Like it's sick, man. But yeah, as far as the stats on YouTube go, I don't monetize. Anybody who keeps asking about like, oh, you're just trying to get views, folks. Why would I get views? Why am I trying to get views if I don't monetize? You solved that one for me. Anyhow, I know what it was. Look at this beautiful play right here. So there's our multi-dot right in there, power dot headshot in the move, and it still calls the bottom on the turning point, even with the swift move to the short side, which, yeah, that's the easy play. But I like to, on occasion, little brag about our system calling bottoms so perfectly. We've got this inside of a multi-PRZ plus a blue dot plus a green dot. This is one of those places where at least it's telling you don't add to your short, right? If you're riding the short all the way down, I'm not saying get long here, but this is one of those spots where it did also call the bottom. I wanted to point that out. You also had the additional confluence right down here. You got the blue one that stands out like a sore thumb, plus the green showing up there for you. Very, very cool. And then, of course, pivotal turns happening at every double king timing, almost every time. Look at that. Timing. So beautiful. So beautiful. I'm very proud of our tools. All right, just in case you hadn't. All right, let's look at what do we have in this one. So I like the double touch. So I showed that little short move out of it. Look as we come back in. Look at how powerful this was. Right back into that spot. boom, and explosions up into, I don't want to say the highs, but all the way back up and completing out that cipher to the long side after coming out of double dots with the crosses. I mean, could it be any more visual than that? I don't know. Now we dip the toe in, like that's a pretty tough one on the fives on a low time frame. Very hard to catch that in, but I liked the look of that one. I did not take that play, but I wanted to screenshot that as I looked at it afterwards and mentally noted like, wow, that was a killer one tick wonder play. If you guys have looked at my WTW one tick wonder play, look at that. One tick down below that low, boom, and the explosion coming into the spot that we already had wanted to get long anyhow, and then boom, one tick wondered it. Bam, went so fast on NASDAQ. And maybe on ES that would have been easier. Not on NASDAQ, it was going way too fast at that time of day to do so. Other things we'll go ahead and point out, that is another double dot. If you are a double dot player, look at that right there. That is a power dot followed by a secondary dot. We've got the shift in deltas pretty clear right there, so we know a big play is coming. Am I going to take that play? Yes, you bet your butt. Beautiful play right there. Some people have asked about double cross double moves. Would I consider this a double cross? Oof, that is right on the cusp. Everybody see that? If this was a longer leg into this area, maybe. Did it work? Yes. Is it legit? Not really. Okay. If you're sitting there trying to part hairs on whether it is or it isn't, then it's not. Okay. Don't worry about it. But you know, did it work out? Pivot from here to here, there to there. Yeah, it did. But just be careful when you're pulling these where these have distance on them. Just if they look like this is obvious. Okay, that's an obvious double cross. I mean, they don't have to be that close, but you know what I'm saying. When they start spreading out, be careful that you don't want to be getting mixed up in the well, I don't know. Remember that our rules are 10 or 15 bars, right? Could I count 10 or 15 bars in there? I mean, I could. 1, 2, 7, 8, 9, 13, 14. I mean, it is right on the cusp. It might be like 16 bars away. I wouldn't fault you for it if you took it, if you're a double cross player, but be very careful there. Plus, you also had the delta kick in with it right there, so I can see why you would take it. Huge delta spike at the double cross. Yes, you guys know I want to take that, right? But no, did I on this one? No. And would I recommend it? No. But it played out well. All right, next. I think it's just continuation of just seeing how big that thing blew right up out of that spot. Super, super huge move, and our system basically calls it to the head, folks. This is why AlgoBox is #1. You guys have been trying to figure out why or how, or well, I teach you the how, but if you wanna see it for yourself, go ask. Look at that explosion out of that. What's that right there? HMD. Now, let's get this little advanced one right here. So in an HMD, we care about the dot color. Remember, the box enhances the dot. Whenever you have the choice of, like, if that was a red dot, it would be obvious. Red dot, then we're going short. But a green dot, people are like, well, I don't know, it's a red box and it's a green dot, so should I take it? Folks, follow the rules. In HMD, the power of the box, powering up the dot. That's what we tell you. That's all we teach you. It's powering up the Fabella dot. So take that long, boom, explosion, two targets, target 1, target 2, on the money, no problem. Look at that beautiful blue dot right there. Just saying. Looks like a smasher. Oof. So good. All right, next. That is a red headshot if I've ever seen one. We have the move down into the cluster. What do we do on a move down into a cluster? We reverse it, right? Easy play up into the red dot there for the cluster to the long side. Nice with the red headshot to the short side. Very, very nice and easy to see there. Now, the completion of the move, still continuing to come back to this one, showing again, this is another one of those where I took the screenshot and it's blinking. That is fixed. There was a green box right there at the time. Green box plus the double dots. Look at this move all the way out, finishing the move with a double cross at the top after king timing, and we get the move down, and we are right back behind on the left-hand side, right back behind our red harmonic. Amazing. Loving it. Double dot to finish off the move, right into the white moon here, and target, if you did enter in on the double dot right there, we have the red line right there at 13,848. That was resting for you, called the tick to the tick line right there. Beautiful, beautiful stuff there on the system. Then red dot pushes it right back down to the same spot. On top of that, if you did want to get short, then we got the pink dot coming in on king timing. Is that a king power dot? Yeah. Are we exiting on the blue? Yeah. All right, so our approach to the markets is a video game. As you guys can see, I think you're gonna get that and figure out why that might. Yeah or no? Yeah or no? All right, try to keep this one short here tonight. Thanks for hanging out here with me. I appreciate you guys all hanging out. Don't forget to follow us over here. Oh, don't forget March 1st. March 1st, you are not going to get full auto anymore. If you are not in on the current offer from the old website, VinnyEmini.com is going away. I don't have the website down here. Used to. VinnyEmini.com is going away. Vinny Emini, the whole shit and cabiddle is going away. It's all gone. It's all going to be AlgoBoxPro.com. And your opportunity to get in with us grandfathered going away after March the 1st. So just don't forget about that. Thanks for hanging out. For me, Pippi, Robbie, Lunchbot, Mod Squad, Curtis, G, and the rest of the gang. Let's send out that big H-Town. See ya.